Essentially, it's an initiative linking sport and education. At its simplest, I describe it as classrooms in sports clubs, grounds and venues where youngsters go after school hours, so the children go voluntarily, and it's targeted at those youngsters who are probably falling a bit behind or perhaps lost a bit of motivation and need some extra help and encouragement to get them up to speed in the basic skills.
The PfS scheme that we have at West Ham is basically an after-school study support initiative, and we deal with local schools throughout Newham, primary schools and secondary schools, and we run a 5-week programme, and the idea is to boost skills in literacy, numeracy through ICT and through our sport, which is football at West Ham. So we use the club's backdrop, and all our work's geared around football, which is really exciting. So everything we do on the computers has a football theme.
There's a wow factor when they enter the centre. They're in West Ham Football Club. They're in a football club. They're in a stadium. In many of the children's cases, they're big West Ham fans. So a lot of their heroes are Bobby Zamora, Marlon Harewood, your West Ham players. So just to be in that environment immediately kind of picks them up. And the programme we set them is very different to a school. It's not just chalk and talk. It's a very interactive programme. The pupils can lead on their own learning, so they feel that they're setting their own targets, they're working towards their own agenda. We also want to work on their self-esteem, their motivation to learn, their attitude to school, the way that they work with the teachers and the way they approach learning. These are things that we're trying to change and give them a far more positive experience of learning, something they can take away, go back into school, and something they can build on for the future.
This one, it's more fun to learn, and it's more fun to learn, so it makes me enjoy it more.
The people who've come in have all said what a real buzz there is here amongst the children. They're all on task, they're all happily engaged, they seem perfectly at home here, and they're clearly having a fun learning experience.
Yesterday we interviewed Ralph Tabora, and we asked him questions about his job and about when he was younger and stuff like that.
Do you get inspired by other celebrities like the Spice Girls? Would you pay to see them in a concert?
I've been brought over to introduce storytelling and getting the students to be enthusiastic about writing their own stories and reading books.
Well, we did have to make something about, a start of Goldilocks and then make it into our own story.
I think the thing is that sort of schools they've got a set curriculum, and obviously it's very difficult to get students that are less enthusiastic about reading. So perhaps to have picking on different attributes, for example, maybe that person doesn't have a very strong voice, but perhaps they're very good with acting or with coming up with imaginary characters, and so to actually focus on those things and incorporate them into a group where they come up with a complete piece.
It was good because you learn how to make stories and all that.
Really enjoyed it today, and really enjoyed how enthusiastic the children are, and it just goes to show that they can actually still do it and be daunted at the beginning, but they actually really enjoy it and enjoy getting involved, and in such a short space of time they come up with really, really good ideas. They worked really well.
I like doing the storytelling because it was more of a challenge, because we didn't know what the beginning was and we didn't know what the end was, and it gave me a bit of a challenge to think what all the other people would have might have done.
It obviously boosts their literacy and numeracy skills, and ICT being the core of it, they get to develop that side of things. But apart from all of that, it also gives them adult role models who are the mentors and the leading teachers, and it creates a really comfortable, friendly atmosphere where the children just find learning enjoyable.
Because all the mentors can help you, and it's quite fun. You learn more, and you go on trips and you have more fun.
A lot of kids that we work with obviously have a little bit of a lower treatment, and we're just trying to give them confidence to be themselves, to take back what they learn with us, back into their schools?
I've seen like the children have become a lot more confident within themselves and like doing the tasks that we've set them to do. So I think they've just like grown with confidence and learning to interact with other kids as well.
I think the biggest thing is when you see a shy child come in, and then you see him for that 5 weeks, and then all of a sudden you see kind of a different child, and that's what always makes you feel, wow, it actually does work.
Yeah. They generally really enjoy it. They say it's better than school. They're like, oh, can we come back again? And they just generally just want to learn more at the end of the day.
Nearly always when we have our kind of closing meeting with the link teacher from the school, they always comment on the improvement in behaviour, and this isn't just kind of for the week after attending the programme or whilst they're attending the programme. This is a kind of a long-term improvement in their behaviour.
But we know that children make huge gains while they're at Playing Success Centres. So their 4 successive national evaluations showed that they improved significantly in their literacy, numeracy and ICT skills. And the other thing we know is that you need to maximise those gains, the gains that children make. And the best way you can do that is to have very good liaison with the schools that are providing the young people, so that when the youngsters go back to school, the school knows what sort of experience the youngsters had, recognise what they've achieved, and then can help them build on those achievements. And that is something that the very best of our centres do extremely well. Football was where it started with the Premiership, and indeed the Premier League remain very close partners and supporters in this. But this idea actually works anywhere, but we've got 15 sports now represented Playing for Success. It's simple and it works. And if you haven't got a host sport, we've also proved that you can replicate the Playing for Success model and ethos in other environments. It can make other spaces exciting. But we also know that some local authorities have set up PfS-style centres in airports, in shopping centres, in libraries, in theatres, and it works. These are funded locally, they're not funded centrally through the Playing for Success initiative, but they're really good spin-offs. But the heartland of it is the relationship really from the sports club and the centre there. That is what Playing for Success is rooted in, and it works very well.